Jesse, I want to start with you. So I think the world of deep fakes, sheep fakes, I want all of that stuff to be accurate, but I do struggle with the way that the right is talking about the LA riots and Donald Trump calls January 6th a day of love.
Well, I don't call it a day of love.
You definitely have.
But you guys
like,
did
"That's
run
catchy."
January 6th video for 2 years.
But it was accurate.
Okay,
And then
so
they all
we
got
should just
pardoned.
run the LA riots for 2 years and hold hearings
from
then,
the
right,
90s,
Jessica?
when it really
These
happened?
riots, Jessica, because they were $1 billion in damage. That's what the Small Business Administrator just said on Fox. If this wasn't a riot, why'd the mayor had to call curfew for the entire area of downtown? If this wasn't a riot, why'd the mayor beg all the business community to come help clean it up? If this wasn't a riot, why do we see videos of the Apple Store and T-Mobile getting looted and 7-Eleven? Why have we seen interviews with small business owners crying because their entire jewelry store was looted? If this is what looks like when LA Lakers win the championship, they don't celebrate for 6 days, Jessica. This is a 6-day riot. And by the way, January 6th lasted 6 hours. This is going on for 6 days. And why, if Trump is provoking it with a National Guard, has it spread to Seattle and New York City? Because there's no National Guard in Seattle and New York City, so how is he involved with that? Well, riddle me that, Jessica.
I'm supposed to ask questions in this block, but I do have an answer for that, but I don't want to eat up Emily's time. Okay, so the footage is real. But the White House, for instance, posted a video yesterday of cars burning, but they were from Saturday.
Oh,
Isn't
no.
that Well, it is. If they're telling people that something is going on that the fire had been put out days before, doesn't that make a difference?
Well, I think timeliness in that context encompasses the entire duration of the riot. So if we were analyzing this like in the course of many crimes, you would include that entire span, so the 6 days duration. I hear what you're saying. It's not immediate, but I don't think it's irrelevant, and I still think it's timely. I feel like, all of the pundits and all of the lawmakers who say that this isn't violent, they haven't seen violence. It is a luxury, in my opinion, to hold the position that words are violent, like Pelosi has said, or that all Trump supporters are domestic terrorists, like Maxine Waters has said, but not see that with our eyes exactly what that. I mean, that is horrifying. All of the flames, all of the everything. And I feel like they want to pick and choose what laws are enforced. So if I misgender someone in California, right, that makes me literally a criminal. But a recidivist rapist in San Jose, he's protected because it's sanctuary. And as Secretary Noem said today at the presser, she said Californians have been conditioned that their actions don't have consequences, and now they do. So whether you're a senator or an illegal immigrant or an anarchist getting paid to throw bricks, now you're going to see consequences. Like we just had the woman here in New York City. She threw a Molotov cocktail at a law enforcement vehicle. There were officers inside. She got 6 years. And there's been a smattering of finally accountability for people torching law enforcement vehicles. They're getting 2.5, 3.5, even 5.5 years. And I feel like these are the same Dems too that reclassified all of the crimes after COVID. They reduced violent crimes to non-violent, like stalking, and now they're like, oh, right, the label. No, that's non-violent because it says here in black and white, but they're missing the forest for the trees, and everyone can see through their lies just by watching the screen.
I so want to talk about January 6th pardons, but I do need to go to you, Greg. So because I live in reality, I know that these images are going to come up in elections in 2026 and 2028. And do you think they're going to hurt Democrats?
I don't look at this politically. I look at it as a societal issue. And I don't understand why the Dems continue to always side with the people who want to destroy this country. And they say, oh, it's only a 4 square block area. Well, great, do that with fire. There's a 4 square block blaze going uncontrolled, but it's just 4 square blocks. It's kind of what they did in LA. I love how the Dems say there's no riot, but if there is one, it's Trump's fault. That's pretty interesting, too. The media lives in an alternate universe, and the Dems do, too. The what-if universe. What if Trump didn't send the troops? He didn't have to do that. What if? It would have been fine. No, we have evidence what happens. It's called the George Floyd riots. We know what happens when you don't restore order. Lawlessness leads to more lawlessness. We saw it Also, we saw it with the Palisades fire. You guys had a terrible response. It got worse. And like you said, it's a luxury to say this because Trump prevented more chaos. It also amazes me that the media still thinks they matter after telling us not to believe what our ears and eyes told us about Biden. They're trying to tell us about deep fakes. These guys fell for the Covington kid. They fell for Jussie Smollett. They fell for the Fine People hoax. They fell for drinking bleach in the Koi Pond. They're susceptible to the deception. The American people were fine. The only deception, the most important deception that we uncovered is the media, and we won't be fooled again. To quote Pete Townsend.
Won't be fooled again, Jessica.
In your face, Jessica.
You can't in your face me. It's my own segment.
In your face, Jessica segment.
Joey.
Yeah, real quick. You know who didn't fall for it? The American people didn't fall for it. Donald Trump is president, and he won the presidency by all accounts by a large margin. And he won the presidency because of everything that happened in the years leading up to him running for president, to include Democrats running January 6th videos ad nauseum. I mean, I think you would agree the message got out about January 6th. The American people had a fair shake at deciding how much it mattered. But what also got out were the riots in 2020, were the way that this is happening, things where Democrats spit in your face and tell you that it's raining. Oh, Gavin Newsom, these aren't riots. Jimmy Kimmel, these aren't riots. There's nothing going on. Okay, well, the American people get a chance to judge. And if this is the best the Democrats have to offer, is riots in response to immigration policy, man, J.D. Vance better buckle up because he's got 8 years left after these.
Oh.
Yeah,
right.
as president.
Well, at least Trump is leaving in
Marine.
28, so that's exciting.
Are you sure?
Click here to subscribe to the Fox News YouTube page to catch our hottest interviews and most compelling analysis. You won't get it anywhere else.